Okay. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Facebook Live people. We are answering some questions today, apparently. So first of all, we'd like to say there's a couple of shout outs. Michael Adams last night. This is him saying this. Last night was so special for me because I asked my girlfriend to marry me and she said yes. Congratulations.
I think they went to Ward Park as well.
They went to Ward Park as well. Okay, well, congratulations. I'm really glad that she said yes. George Scutelis, we traveled all the way from Florida to see you. Will you say hello? Hello, George.
Hi, George.
Hello. Sorry about the murdering of your second name. I do apologize about that. Okay, now some questions. This is from Michelle McCormick. Hello, Michelle. How does it feel when you hear an arena full of people singing your songs back to you like they did last night? I'll take this one and then we'll spread the love around with the questions a bit. Amazing, because all these songs, the lyrics were written in a room on my own with I don't write with an audience, so it's when you sit and you're sitting singing it with an acoustic guitar in your house on your own, you can't imagine what it's going to feel like when people are singing it back to you. It is the best feeling that I know. It's extraordinary. We don't take it for granted either. It's incredible. Amanda Watts. You want to take Amanda Watts' question there?
If you could have coffee with anyone in the world, who would you love to chat to over coffee? Probably a musician. Maybe somebody who's not alive. Jimi Hendrix, maybe? That would be pretty cool. Just because.
Would you talk in
Wouldn't be coffee with it?
I'm left-handed and picked him left-handed.
Yeah, because you're a left-handed guitar player, left-handed bass player. Yeah. So that's part of your left-handed crew.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to always just play Jimi Hendrix songs because of this affinity I had with him being left-handed. But nobody's ever figured out how he got such a good sound, and I think I'd love to just have a shot of his amp maybe and check it out.
Do you think that would happen over coffee, or do you think you would have to?
Maybe some of the coffee would spill with the volume, but
Which hand would you hold the coffee cup in?
My right hand.
Right.
All right.
Because I'll be playing with this hand.
See, Pablo can play and drink coffee at the same time. If anyone, I think you missed the question there.
That's the last one.
I think it's Sean and McGuire.
Oh, that's the coffee one. Oh, I swapped one.
Oh, right, sorry. So that was Sean and McGuire's question, that last one. And then this one's Amanda Watts. Hello, Amanda.
This one is Amanda Watts. If you had to swap places for a gig with another member of another band, past or present, who would it be and why? Well, it's a pretty good question. How long have you got, Amanda? Maybe we could talk about this over coffee. Wow. I'd probably go somebody out of the Clash, Paul Simonon, just because he looked cool as hell. Sorry. So, yeah, that's a very vain reason and a very vain answer, but there you go.
Okay. Now, there was one I liked here about what was the funniest thing that ever happened on stage, and that's from Jan. So the funniest thing that I think's happened was we played a gig in Oklahoma, in America, and it was an outdoor gig near a zoo, and there was these flying, they were like the size of a bird. It was insects, massive things. They were just flying around with the lights, attracting these massive creatures. And Tom Simpson, our keyboard player, managed to notice one was on his shoulder, and I'm watching him, and I'm going, he's just looking at this beast on his shoulder, and he's just trying to hold it together because he's playing keyboards, and then he finally breaks and just goes and gets, nearly throws himself off his seat, and I just nearly fell off my seat laughing because I think I was the only one that saw him.
I think the first 10 rows were laughing as well, to be honest.
We're going to answer them all.
So, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to keep them in order so we can.
All right. Can we rewind Facebook Live? I'm just going to cherry pick here.
They're just
Okay.
When's
messing
the
with
next album coming out? That we can't answer yet.
When was the next album come? That's a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
We released the first one after 7 years.
That was
So,
from Liz.
Give us a minute.
Liz Inez or Liz Ines.
Right.
So
Thanks,
give
Liz.
us a minute is the
Yeah,
answer
yeah.
to that. Can we just enjoy this one?
It won't be 7 years. It won't be 7 years.
Okay, so how different is it to be doing gigs now from say 10 years ago? And that's from Camila. And I daren't attempt to pronounce your second name, Camila. I'm very sorry.
You have a beard now.
I have a beard.
Yeah,
That's
you
what's
didn't have a
different.
beard. You
You didn't have a beard
when we
then.
first met you.
That's true. It is very different because I have a beard. Technology has come on a long way. Certainly in the last 7 years since we've been away. So we use a lot more of it now than we ever have. So, and production like live production, lights and what we can do with a lot less. You know, these laptop computers can do a lot more now than they used to. And we make as much of it as we can. We use them as instruments, and we run lots of lights and flashy stuff with computers that we couldn't do before.
We're now running off laptops as well.
Yeah.
It used to be off little Nokia phones, now it's off these computers. Yeah.
All right. Let's
Get us back on track.
I'm going to go back on track here.
I've created this
Paula Newport. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hello, Paula. The show last night was amazing. Thank you. Was it more emotional than you thought it would be singing in front of your home crowd? Yeah, it always is. There's always more emotion here because our families are here, our friends are here, our guest list is massive. You know, we're at home. We're playing a venue that we've played, you know, quite a few times now. We've been very lucky to play this place, and yeah, that all sort of factors into it being just sort of that extra special. But you know, the first night in Newcastle was amazing as well. It was really fun there as well. It was a great crowd. So, but you know, Belfast, it's where we're from. Apart from this man here, we're getting to Scotland next year. So yeah, it is special. So we, Camilla and Liz, and now we're on Cheryl
Little.
Cheryl Little.
If you could pick one word to describe how it feels to be back, what would it be?
Can I answer that one?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I don't know. Do you want to answer
I
that?
was going to say scrumtralescent.
I was going to say that.
Is there anyone else? I can't think. I don't know. Back. I'm trying to have thesaurus. I could think of other words for back. But
Yeah, well, you know, we're relief, I think, more than anything.
relief. That's a good one. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, man. Peter Roberts, which is better, Big Thunder Mountain in Disneyland or the Picky Puffer in Bangor? I mean, well, that's what. Come on now, you know what the answer is. The Picky
Yes.
Puffer in Bangor.
Picky
Still
Puffer.
goes a bit fast for me.
It's thrilling. It's a thrill ride.
It's yeah, it's hairy. It's hairy,
The
all right.
Swans in Bangor are a good crack. Have you ever been on the Swan?
Oh, that's too adventurous for me, Tommy.
You do another one. You do another one there as well. I think we all answered that one.
Are we in?
This is the top of the next page.
It's Johnny's messing with the system. That's what he does. This wouldn't happen if you used a laptop. This is from Noreen Fong. Which city or country have you not played yet but would like to? Well, on the last record, we got to go to extensively South America, so that was always on the list. And we also got to go to the Philippines, but the place we haven't been is India.
Yeah, we haven't.
So I'd like to get there for sure.
China as well. Maybe?
China as well.
So yeah.
Yep.
So it's a short answer, but it's the truth.
So it's a big country though. Two big countries.
Great band.
Big country.
Yes. What is the meaning of the album name Wildness? I'll have to let you.
We're on this one. Here. We're on Charlotte.
No, I don't.
You don't want that one?
Okay. This is from Charlotte.
All right, so I'm the only one reading questions that I'm actually given, right?
This is from Charlotte. Said, "What's the best reaction you've had to Wildness so far?" Best reaction. I think it's been friends actually. Whenever we finished the record, I had some friends around who we've known the band for a long time, and we've played them Life on Earth and What If This Soul of Love, and they were really blown away. And it's just interesting to see the reactions, because you sort of, when you're making the album, you're in your own world and you don't really get to play it to other people outside of it. So I think that was the best reaction. That was kind of one of the first ones. So.
Well, those particular people are truth tellers as well.
Yeah.
So
you know in their face.
Yeah. They'll tell you if it's not. So
Yeah, and the friends that we have, good friends, close friends, honest friends, it's not just their face that tells you.
Next one on the list, please, Johnny.
All right, Nathan. I will go for the next one from Carol Bambo. Carol asked, "What song do you wish you'd written?"
Is there any songs you haven't written?
What song ever? Sgt. Pepper, Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Don't know it.
It's a song by English band, the Rolling Stones.
Okay. Yes. Oh,
That's
I know
the
those
one,
guys.
right.
Yeah.
I wish I'd written that song, because that would mean I was in the Beatles.
No, I mean,
I'm not this person. And you wouldn't have to do it.
I'm not this person.
You wouldn't have to read them in order.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
John and Paul wouldn't make me do that.
No.
Where are we going now? Yes. I do wish I'd written that song.
Any Laura Gray? Hello, Laura. Any pre-show rituals? Awesome show last night. Thank you, Laura. Generally we'll get together and we'll listen to some music, loud music, before we go on stage and get everyone sort of amped up. We've been playing. We've gone through a lot of different albums before we go on stage. We went through a phase, maybe like a 2-year phase of playing Phoenix, Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix.
Friendly Fires.
Friendly Fires we play. We played the LCD Sound System album, Sound of Silver, for probably a solid year before we went on stage. It becomes a sort of a signifier that you're getting ready to go on stage. And currently it's Gang of Youths, Go Farther in Likeness, their album. If anyone's not got that album, it is extraordinary album. The lyrics are out of this world, and musically it's a masterpiece. So that's what we do before we go on stage. Jan, what is the meaning of the album name Wildness? This is no name. This is anonymous. You wanted to be anonymous for this question. What's the meaning of the name Wildness? I said this before, but it's kind of, there's the song Life on Earth, which is the first song on the album, which says all this ancient wildness. It's more about wildness that is perhaps forgotten. The connection to the earth, the connection to each other, the disconnection, I guess, from technology, from modernity, just a little bit. I'm trying to do that myself. It's like I'm basically trying to tell myself to do this. It's not me preaching to tell other people to do it, but that's kind of what it means. Anyway, and this doesn't have a name either, but there's this question there.
If you could do a duet with anyone, who would it be? A bass duet?
Spinal Tap?
Yeah, I would. You know what it would be? I've got an answer. It would be a quintet. It would have been a Big Bottom by Spinal Tap, because we played in the Live Earth thing in Wembley Stadium, and we had to leave that evening to then go to play in Dublin that evening. And what was the Witness?
Oxygen. Yeah.
Oxygen. And so I had to miss out on playing Big Bottom on stage. It was Spinal Tap, and it was 4 bassists. I think it was Flea, the guy from Metallica, I forgot his name, Robert, and me, and then it was someone else, I think. But yeah, that would have been my quintet, not duet, but that would be it.
There's no second names in these, so hello, Diana. Beside music, what is on the bucket list? I'm a little young for a bucket list, but
you don't know that.
Well, true. That you haven't crossed out yet. that's a really difficult question. There's so many things, most of them involving music.
With this band or another?
With many other bands. I quite like, if I ever do that, I'd know something about doing a marathon, but
Marathon pub crawl?
yeah, well, yeah, I've done those.
Ice bucket list.
Yeah, maybe try and do a marathon someday. I've talked about it before loosely, but it's that or Everest. So I'll start with the marathon.
Good
Everest
God.
Base Camp.
You don't want it to be the thing that kills you. You're making a bucket list of things that kill you. Okay, we got 2 more questions. So it's for Alice.
Okay, Alice, what is the best place you have been that has inspired you? There's a place called Dingle in County Kerry in Ireland, and it's the most westerly point of Europe. Next place is America. There's a little beach called Cumbernauld there, and it's just one of the most incredible, peaceful, but also wild places I've ever been. And it just, yeah, it's a place where you get away from the noise of the world. And I attempted to surf there, which was crazy. But yeah, that would be. And if you ever get the chance to check it out, you'll love it.
Can I go back to my question as well? Maybe go into space.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as an astronaut,
I mean, it's getting
it's
just generally,
just a passenger.
I don't mind.
So we
Huge catapult.
I mean, and there's a lot of work I've missed out on.
Virgin
the astronauts
Galactic.
side,
So Richard
but-
Branson, if maybe
Yeah.
take
You want to sponsor us?
Sponsored
Johnny,
marathon.
last question.
What great music have you discovered on your travels this year? Oh, this is from Helen. So much great music. Well, Gary's already mentioned Gang of Youths. I think that's certainly, in terms of bands, one of the best records I've heard in a long time, and they were discovered. At least I discovered them on our travels this year. 2 of our guest acts that are playing with us at the moment, Roe, who's from my hometown, and Ryan McMullen, both incredible artists. They're relatively new on the scene. They've been making music for a while, but they're extraordinary, and really inspiring to be around and watch them come up through the spokes of music in the world today. It's really, they're amazing. Check them out. Ryan McMullen and Roe.
And Sam Fender.
Sam Fender.
Sam Fender.
Casey Musgraves.
Casey Musgraves' album is amazing. But
Roosevelt.
thank you very
Thank
much
you.
indeed for your questions. I hope we answered them well enough. But take care. See ya.
Thanks, mate.